Hi and welcome to Recap Ace. I'm your Have and I'm energized to share this recap with you. The story starts in Tokyo like each morning, with nowadays being fair another standard day. In a rush to go to work, numerous individuals got prepared and sat on the prepare to go to work. Within the prepare, everybody was active with their work. A man opens a bottle to drink water, but his cap slips from his hand as he was strolling. All of a sudden that cover vanished. The vanishing of the top implied that abruptly another bizarre thing happened. Everyone's phones ceased working and they got cautions of seismic tremors. Everybody got frightened and the prepare was running at full speed because it come to a burrow. A really huge stun was felt by the individuals sitting within the prepare, and we were appeared that the prepare has gone into a wormhole and everybody sitting on the prepare had blacked out. When they recaptured awareness, they found themselves within the woodland. Looking around, we discovered that not the whole prepare but fair one compartment of the prepare has come to this interesting woodland. This put to appeared commonplace to them. This was moreover Tokyo, which has presently turned into a woodland. Everybody was stunned to see all this. No one caught on what happened to them. A man named Sam, a firefighter on the prepare, tries to unwind all the froze individuals to handle the circumstance. A young lady named Yumi, who was fair getting to be a firefighter, makes a difference her in this work. Sam had given her a parcel of classes as an educator, and she moreover likes Sam. Besides, the scene cuts and we are appeared the same Tokyo City in 2023, the day when all of them are sitting on the prepare. The prepare administration is stunned. Where did the two compartments of the prepare vanish? We have seen Sam's compartment, but another lost compartment has not been appeared. However, engineers check the burrow from which those compartments vanished. On the other hand, we see Sam, Yumi and another young lady with her. They are moreover checking the burrow to form beyond any doubt that no one has come trying to find them. They see a few light on the other side. Here the engineers too saw light. The engineers thought everybody was on the other side, and Sam's gather thought that possibly the light coming from the other side, so individuals are coming to offer assistance them. But this was a misconception of both parties. When Sam's bunch wandered ahead and looked, they saw daylight exterior the burrow, and here before the engineers there was another group of engineers who were seeking out for the lost individuals. Sam's gather, which had come out of the burrow, see at the other side of the city and gotten to be stressed since this entire Tokyo City has turned into a leave. They make a parcel of recordings of these unusual things so that they can appear it to travelers like them, agreeing to their considering. When they told individuals almost this city no one accepted, gave a false representation of them. When they saw the recordings, they moreover accepted that they had come to a interesting put. Everybody was stressed. No one caught on how they would live here, how they would survive. There was no one distant absent. After all, who will spare them? They have been stuck in this put for 7 hours. No one came to assist. There's no flag within the phone and everybody is exceptionally hungry. Those who had a few snacks share and fulfill their starvation. A childish young lady named Penny on this prepare was exceptionally hungry that she began seeking out for nourishment in everyone's sacks. She doesn't get anything to eat, but in a man's sack she gets a government letter in which it was clearly composed that he could be a criminal. Penny's negative mentality driven her to conclude that all this work must have been done by the criminal. He caught us here so that he can coercion the government to urge rid of his discipline. She tells this to everybody. Chiyashima keeps clarifying to everybody that this letter isn't mine. Attempt to tune in to me, but when no one tunes into him, he says affirm I'm leaving presently. Everyone lived here calmly as he cleared out the compartment of Logger Boy tells Sam and Yumi that Rina is off base. She was taking from everyone's sacks, and I do not think that Chiyashima may be a criminal. Knowing this, Sam felt awful and he goes out to discover Chiyashima. Chiyashima was approximately to drop into a pit while walking, but fair in time Sam comes and spares him. Chiyashima much obliged him and tells him that I am not a criminal, I am an awfully celebrated beautician. Sometime recently Sam inquires him something else. He quiets him that he has not however told him anything around that criminal's letter. The night plummets in stress. Most of the individuals rested, but contemplations of numerous of them are not saving them. The morning shows up and everybody is sitting re-established. Sam tries to assist everybody small by small, and Chiyashima gets irate with his state of mind. How can an individual be so great and unsuccessful? He inquires him, why are you making a difference? Everybody what is your issue? Sam says there's no issue, but there's a blame in my heart that I do everything. To conclusion, my exceptionally great friend's legs were really broken since of me, and to conclusion, the lament of that thing. I guaranteed myself that day that at whatever point anybody needs me I will offer assistance. Tuning into Sam's past story, Chiyashima moreover recalls his brother when both of them were youthful, how affectionately they lived in spite of the fact that they were destitute. But Chiyashima sacrificed his life for his brother. He worked exceptionally difficult to provide his brother a great life and got to be a popular beautician. He satisfied all his brother's wishes but missed a thing due to doing a part of work. He did not get time to take care of his brother and he got to be a criminal. Chiyashima did not know this. Really, the criminal letter that Chiyashima had was his brother's. A few days afterward he was almost to be safeguarded and he was going by train to choose him up. Presently all the travelers have cleared out the prepare. They know that they got to eat something and have to be make courses of action. They went exceptionally remote into the timberland in look of something to eat and drink, and they saw a tower. Seeing this, all of them are stunned since that tower was around to be completed in 2026 and they came from 2023. Everybody had listened apart around this tower, but in spite of seeing this they seem not get it that they have come to long run how remote and long term they don't indeed know. In this prepare there was a scientist who found such a plant in this woodland which was reaching to develop 30 a long time afterward. From 2023 they speculated that they have come at slightest 40 a long time ahead of their time, and this thing stresses them within the coming a long time. Will the world be in such a bad state? They had not indeed thought. The year 2023 is delineated taking after a scene cut from when this compartment arrived here. Those researchers did not discover that compartment. Indeed, after looking apart so weakly, they got to authoritatively report the news that 2 compartments of the running prepare vanish, in which more than 100 individuals were there. They are too lost and nothing was found. The scenes move back to long-standing time where individuals are going crazy because they do not indeed have water to drink. At this time Sam makes a range and picks up a huge point and places it on the roof of this compartment. Nothing else fair. A couple of drops of water ought to have been collected, but his arrange moreover fizzled. It was morning. The following day came. The scientist goes to examine this zone and finds such a blossom that utilized to develop exceptionally near to water. Seeing this he got a clue. There must be a spring or waterway adjacent. Hearing this, Sam chooses that on the off chance that there's a spring or waterway here he will discover it so that his companions extinguish their thirst with it. The biologist Chiyashima and Yumi move with him, whereas strolling they reach an awfully enormous mountain. In case there's a mountain there's a chance of a spring, but who will climb such a tall and steep mountain and how to do this? They all make a rope together, and Sam, who could be a firefighter and encompasses a part of involvement climbing dividers with a rope, climbs this mountain. At long last they have found water. They gotten to be cheerful. Sam begins looking far away from that mountain that had gotten to be a ocean where Tokyo's huge celebrated buildings were, and he told his colleagues. Everybody got indeed more stressed knowing what was attending to happen within the future, since of which this world will be so demolished. Another day closes. It's night and a man named Danako comes out of the compartment. He was doing his work when somebody assaults him. Besides, he spared himself from his assault, but when he goes out and tells his colleagues, no one accepted him that he saw a human being here. Since they were continually looking here for so numerous days they didn't discover any human being here. Besides, it begins sprinkling nowadays and they get peace from the rain to begin with, of all water to drink, water to bathe, and finally something great happened to them. The destitute scientist was active with his possessed work here. He was searching for something so that people can eat, drink and survive. Other individuals too choose to assist him in his work. Here we see that while Rina and Yumi were trying to find berries, Yumi erroneously eats a few noxious berries. On the off chance that people ate them they would pass on. Seeing her terrible well-being, Sam gets exceptionally stressed, and here we feel that Sam too likes her. Besides, everybody takes her to the compartment. They treat her a small bit, and here everybody takes care of her as in the event that everybody is her family. These individuals live together and got to be like a family. Seeing Yumi's condition, everybody realized that in case they keep sitting like this and on the off chance that they do not work difficult, they will kick the bucket of starvation and thirst. In case they need need to live, they need to do something. That's why they choose to work. From the following day, a few individuals found nourishment here, a few made utensils, and nowadays they did a parcel of work. They get much to eat, but indeed after doing all this they were not cheerful. They realized that they have collected a few noxious berries in their nourishment. At this time suspects that perhaps they didn't collect these berries, and Tanaka has blended berries in their nourishment, whom they have taken out of their compartment since he stole Kashima's scissors. They take off to discover that man Sam meandered within the timberland all night and didn't discover Tanaka, but he found Kashima's scissors, the scientist who utilized to do something valuable for them each day. He tells them, whereas per using this region, that concurring to his information and structure of this put, there must be a waterway nearby, and on the off chance that there's a stream at that point, all their water needs will be satisfied and they can capture angle from there. What a incredible thought. Everybody takes off to work on his thought implies finding a stream, and on the way somebody assaults the scholar and he is brought back to the compartment. They treat him, but he is in a part of torment. Everybody moreover found out that Tanaka wasn't lying. There were other individuals in this city. After being assaulted, Tanaka comes to their compartment and tells everybody on the off chance that they permit him to remain in this compartment. At that point he can be exceptionally valuable. He works in a security company and contains a parcel of encounter in making traps, and he will make traps for those individuals so that they can remain secure. Everybody concurs. Well, nowadays everybody was doing their tea errands, as in the event that they had acknowledged this life. Kashima cuts Reina's hair and appreciates his work. They went to the timberland, found nourishment, and went through a typical day. The following day Yumi and Sam saw a kid close their compartment. The kid began running and they taken after the kid. The kid made a difference. Them reached the stream, whereas running after crossing the stream the kid runs ahead and he told them to hold up. Chiyashima came here, whereas seeking out for them. It was night, but the boy didn't return. When they move ahead they discover another compartment, around which we as of now know there are two compartments. One has a place to Sam and the other one is this. The individuals within the other compartment were remote ahead of them and had made a parcel of courses of action. They found Yuto, who was their pioneer. Sam tells Yuto that one of their men has assaulted their scholar. Yuto apologizes. There was no time to contend, so they share critical data. Like Sam found a stream and nourishment, he tells him everything. Yuto tells him they found a dispatch. When they came here there was a radio and a journal. They coordinated the recurrence of the radio, and one day they got in a flag from Canada and they found out that they are 60 a long time ahead. They moreover found that the world was crushed in 2026, since in 2023 and 2024 many individuals propelled their satellites into space to memorize more. Almost at this, driven to the world's annihilation, a adjective collided with an space rock which at that point struck the soil, coming about in its end. All the people were killed in this annihilation. Sam inquires Yuto, where is your radio? Yuto says, I have the radio, but after that day there was no flag. Sam passed on this to his colleagues, filled with stress almost how they seem elude from this desperate circumstance. Hearing that they are 60 a long time ahead, everybody was stressed, but at this time everybody thought perhaps God has given them a chance to settle everything, whereas getting to the past, and this thought gives them strength to work harder to find a way to halt the pulverization. Whereas getting to the past, everybody here considers, but there's no way. They were hungry, so they go to the stream they found. They take bathe, drink water, and collect a parcel of angle to eat. The day goes by. They make lavatory baths for themselves and begin collecting nourishment. Whereas collecting nourishment, the scholar found a sparkling green stone. He appears this stone to everybody. Tanaka moreover saw it. The scientist thought that this sparkling stone has vitality in them and they can go back with its offer assistance. Tanaka goes to Yuto and tells him everything. He could be a backstabber since he tells Yuto everything. Yuto gives him nourishment in return. Yumi and Riina and Sam's bunch, who were the same age, got to be companions, but Riina was so irate that she pushed Yumi and made her drop in a pit. Yumi fell into the pit and get frightened since there was as of now a dead body. Both of them gets frightened and runs to their compartment, but the boys from the other compartment halt them. Riina takes off Yumi in peril in some way or another, comes to her compartment. Riina tells Sam everything and Sam clears out to spare Yumi without considering anything. Chiyashima too come behind them, but when they come to where Yumi and the boys were, they both vanished. Yumi stowed away in a transport, whereas running Sam doesn't know that Yumi must have gone to spare herself, but he considers another bunch captured her. He goes to assault the other bunch without considering. Sometime recently they assault or harm anyone. Yuto inquires him around the matter. Sam tells him that his companion's gotten into mischief with one of their bunch young ladies. Upon hearing this, he apologized on sack of his companion and guaranteed them that he would locate Yumi and bring her to their area, but Sam doesn't accept Yuto since he considers that the body that Yumi and Rihanna saw is from their gather whom Yuto killed. Yuto says he isn't from your bunch but he is from our bunch. When we came here he froze that he began assaulting everybody like insane. He indeed assaulted me and I wounded him in my defense and he was killed inadvertently. Everybody began accepting me, a pioneer sense of my bravery. Chiyashima and Sam returned to their loft after heading to the other group's area to anticipate an assault. That's why they dreaded that the other bunch might assault them. They choose to form weapons for their defense. Yuta goes to the same dispatch where he found the radio. He doesn't know that Yumi is moreover stowing away in a little box of this transport. He talks to somebody on the radio but Yumi catches his lie that he isn't talking to anybody and the radio can't indeed work since the cable was cut. She inquires him, why are you doing this show? What do you get from it? He knows the truth. Udo says, I need to be the pioneer, that's why I do such dramatizations. I do not need to go to the past. No one cares. Almost me here. Everybody is considering me a pioneer and I am upbeat almost this, but Yumi says I'm going out to tell everybody your truth. Seeing himself uncovered, Yuta gets to be startled in his freeze. He ties up Yumi and locks her. Absent, the scene cuts and we see Sam and his companions. They have made a parcel of weapons with which they will battle since agreeing to the guarantee Yuta have her out from a radio like there in 2060. The world was crushed in 2026 and why did it happen? Everything was composed on this journal. He found this journal from the dispatch. The lady and the scientist who went to discover another put found a tower with numerous green sparkling stones. This scene cuts and we are appeared the time of 2023. A researcher who is attempting to discover the riddle of the vanishing of the prepare was examining the burrow. When he saw the film he found out that there was a wormhole within the burrow when the compartments vanished, which was caused by a supernova blast. Really, supernova blasts happen when enormous stars reach the conclusion of their life cycles. At that point a few powers come out from its center, causes tremendous blast. As a result of this there was a wormhole which shaped the timeline of 2023 and 2060. The researchers had fathomed this puzzle but Sam still hooked with understanding it completely. They didn't take much time when they were examining the journal. They ought to know approximately the supernova blast. A science educator sitting here tells everybody approximately the supernova blast that this explosion happens when a planet gets old and is approximately to pass, and all of a sudden there's a huge storm and everybody comes back to their compartment. Tanaka chooses that he will open the crisis door and go to the burrow to spare himself. As soon as he opens the crisis entryway they see that there's a huge wormhole on the other side which was gradually pulling everything interior. It too pulled a little doll made by Tanaka. All of a sudden the storm ceases and the wormhole comes to an end as well. On the other side we see a criminologist within the Prepare administration. They were considering their case that a doll of Tanaka falls close them which fell since of a wormhole. They moreover caught on how to go back. After seeing the wormhole they had to form a wormhole to go back, for which they required an uncommon radioactive stone and a tremendous energy source. The control station can be in this city but it was troublesome to discover it. Not inconceivable. They all worked together and discover a control station which was buried within the ground, as on the off chance that it had never been utilized. After disable within the control station they actuate the green stones, activating a gigantic storm. Due to the setup they made the wormhole as to mate. Everybody was exceptionally cheerful to see this wormhole. The individual who had to go back comes interior this compartment. They moreover inquired Tanaka to come interior but Tanaka did not need to go back. He says, no, I am cheerful here at long last, says Bind. Closes the Prepare entryway. The Prepare encounters a critical jar and all of a sudden they discover themselves back in their timeline. As sometime recently they were oblivious when they came to their senses. Somebody was stomping on their carriage. When they came out they discover out they have come to 2026 rather than 2023, and usually the same year when this world will be devastated with exceptionally small time cleared out to spare the world. Everybody here critically cautions others almost the looming devastation of the world. We ought to spare it from destruction. They appear them the things they brought from the longer term. They appear them the recordings to make them accept their words which they clicked there, but none accepted them since they thought that since of an enormous mischance their mental condition has disintegrated. This news was too viral that the Prepare compartments Spanish. In 2023 abruptly come to 2026 to affirm whether they are without a doubt the same individuals who had gone lost. They experience a therapeutic examination where their words are met with skepticism. The researcher who found out approximately supernova blast goes to meet them. The same lady who held a higher-ranking position utilized her impact and assets to organize a meeting with the defense minister. She tells him around everything, all the data she got in 2060. The defense serv listened her carefully. The defense serv tells her that an space rock is progressing to hit the world and they are making a missile to destroy it and will devastate it in space. It won't hit the world and the world will be secure. Knowing this woman too gets a few peace. She told all this to her group individuals, whereas they felt a few help. Upon hearing her words they remained doubtful, finding it troublesome to completely accept everything they had seen. At long last the day arrives that when the